green skills and knowledge, abilities, values, and attitudes needed to live in, develop, and support a sustainable society. I therefore charge the Lagos youth to embrace these skills as they are important to facilitate environmentally sustainable decisions in work and in life.
Lagos State, happy International Youth Day to every youth out there.
Every year on August 12, the global community comes together to celebrate International Youth Day. This annual occasion, recognized by the United Nations, is to create awareness and action to address pertinent issues affecting the world's youth population. The shift towards an environmentally sustainable and climate-friendly world is critical not only to respond to global climate crisis but for the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. This summit, organized by the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter, in collaboration with Lagos State Ministry of Youth and Social Development, is to empower participants with the knowledge, skills, and connections needed to become effective leaders in their field.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam.
I'd like to meet you.
Good afternoon. My name is Mobolaji Ogulende, the pioneer of RAC Development Foundation and the former SA Special Advisor to Mr. Governor on special duties and intergovernmental relations for Lagos State.
Okay, for RAC, can you tell us more about your organization?
Well, RAC Development Foundation is an NGO which we've been running for over 7 years. I am the pioneer, and our ethos are quench thirst, inspire change, and empower generations. And we do a lot of community service, giving back to the community, especially where I'm from in Badagry. And in our own way, in our own little way, we try and encourage the youth, and give them a little bit of support in whatever it is they're trying to do in our own little way. The ideology behind it is that every little helps, and we hope that if every or most Nigerians can imbibe this and are motivated from this, then everyone will be helping someone, and together we'll build our community or our state or our nation, as the case may be. So that's what is driving it.
So that actually sounds like the societal concern issues that you are actually meeting. You've actually been meeting these youths on the street, no doubt. So what have you seen so far by observation, and how really do you think their challenges, or how do you really see their challenges?
There are lots of challenges, starting with the educational challenge. If someone is not educated, the person is not exposed, as the case may be. If you are not exposed, the way your level of reasoning, could be, a little bit lower, than average. But, so that's one challenge, education. But the bigger challenge is even poverty. A lot of people have not been able to eat their 3 square meals, right? So which is also a big challenge. And a hungry man is an angry man. So that's another challenge. Then, a lot of and unemployment. There's also lack of unemployment. So there are a lot of challenges. But you see, in the middle of all of these challenges are opportunities. So the ideology behind it is to see how, we can encourage, the people facing these challenges, to see, opportunities in these challenges. And of course, we can continue to break it down, but there's always an opportunity in everything, which is why if everybody cannot go to school, develop your skills. As you know, the Lagos State government, engage, a lot of some of these skills. For example, hair making, empowerment and hair making, soap making. I mean, in my foundation at the moment, we have a 2-month program going on where we're trying to empower, the youth to be, self-sustained. So those are some of the ways, we get them to see opportunities and the challenges.
Okay, for your award today, so what can you tell us about your award?
Well, the award, as one of the emerging leaders, I believe the award is saying that I'm making a lot of impact. I've touched a lot of lives, and I believe, the award is to encourage me, which of course has worked because I'm actually encouraged, because it just goes to show that, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of resources, and a lot of engagement, but you have to be self-driven, and these are one of the things that motivate people like us, to continue to do what we're doing, because a lot of times you get discouraged, but again, with this sort of award, it encourages you to do more.
Okay, so what do you wish the youth for this celebration?
Well, I wish them the very best. I hope they're able to, learn and take away one or two things from what, the keynote speakers and the panel discussions are talking about. And I do hope, they'll go back home a little bit different, and hopefully, things will take a new course. All right. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much to all of our panelists. My name is Zainab Adero, and it has been a pleasure doing this.
Please, can we give them a round of applause while the panelists have a shot before they leave? Panelists, Zainab Adero as a panel moderator. Thank you very much. That was a robust conversation from our panelists, and I want to say a very big thank you to you for honoring this invitation. While the conversation was going on, I want to announce to you all that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria arrived in this auditorium. How many of you believe that? If you believe that, please clap for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let me announce the arrival of our own Lagos boy, of our own pride in Lagos. Please put your hands together for Comrade. Okay, I will announce when it comes in, now we announce it. Please put your hands together for Comrade Segun Dada, the Special Assistant to the President on Media. Please a round of applause for him. Yes, he will join us again. I also want to announce the arrival of the youngest permanent board member in Lagos. He is my own boss. Please put your hands together for Honorable Owolabi Falana Jamiu. Please a round of applause for him, permanent board member at Lagos State Universal Education Board. Super. Thank you very much for joining us today.
The world wants to meet you.
Well, my name is Hakeem Smith. I'm the chairman of the Special Committee on the Rehabilitation of Public Schools in Lagos State.
Okay, so today you are here celebrating with the youth, doing so well that this is an International Youth Week and preparation for tomorrow International Youth Day. So, the award you have just so can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, well, I think, like it was said, it's in recognition of the support that we give the youth. I think for us, training the youth is training the world. So it's important that we support them in our various capacities, which we are trying to do, even pre-government and even in government, we try to support them so that they can attain their highest potentials and opportunities. Thank you.
Do you see any sort of concern around the youth of Nigeria, and why do you think the youth needs to be celebrated?
No, they should, because bearing all odds, these are tough times, particularly in this part of the climb. The various challenges we are facing, and if somebody is able to achieve and get to the level that they are getting to, in terms of all the negatives, we have some negatives and some vices. We have some youths that are still doing very, very well, even internationally. So I think they are worth celebrating, and this will encourage the oncoming ones and the younger ones to put in their best, and that to know that, well, the sky is just the foundation, not the limits. Thank you.
So I'm Ayo Alibalegu. I'm a recipient of an award today, and I'm actually very, very happy and elated and feel extremely honored. The National Youth Council of Nigeria, especially Lagos State chapter, they're doing great jobs, and I pay more strides to their achievements. I'm really, really elated. It's a very beautiful program. You can see it's peaceful, not rowdy. It's really showcasing the kind of Nigeria that, quite a lot of us are looking forward to, and that we hope that would emerge from after this meeting today. For me, totally elated. This is me just doing my thing, and being there for youngsters, and not knowing that the world is watching. I feel very privileged. I feel strongly that when you do stuff, don't do stuff for the gallery. Don't play to the gallery. Whatever you do, nature will come back and reward you. The world is watching, but do not do it for the sake that the world is watching. Do it because you believe in it. Be passionate about what you do. For me, I'm very passionate about the youngsters. They're the future and they're the now. So it's a big honor and I really feel privileged. Thank you. I am Ayorinde Alibalogun. Thank you very much.
Students sit for JAM every year, but we have space for only maximum 300,000. So annually we waste 1.2 million youths that we cannot account for. Out of these 1.6 million, 350,000 apply to study medicine. In Lagos State alone, 250,000 students sit for JAM, 250,000. But we have space for only 20,000. Look at the gap of wastage. And I told myself, how did the youth of China, of India, grew their economy to this level? They use their youth advantage, the advantage of the number of youths, to develop their country. How can we do so? Can you imagine if we admit 350,000 medical students who apply to study medicine and pass JAM, and we start to produce 350,000 doctors every year for export? All throughout Africa, we dominate. We dominate the world because that is what India do. If you remember when we were younger, our principal in school were Indians. Our teachers were Indians. But they left when we started to grow. We have 500,000 students applying to read engineering. 500,000. In terms of innovation, coding, artificial intelligence, technical education. If you can provide space for 500,000 engineers to be trained in Nigeria annually, which other country in the world can match us? And we are very lucky as a nation. The most brilliant people in the world are Nigerians. And I had experimental, conviction to prove this. I was at Harvard, and my professor told me, when you Nigerians, you are the luckiest human being in the world. I said, what do you mean? He said, we have no assets. That if you are in a class with a Nigerian, you don't know the difference between him and an American. He will not display his assets. I said, why? He said, we are arrogant. He said, sit down, my friend. And the blacks were passing by. He would tell me, this one is not in Nigeria. This one is not in Nigeria. But when somebody is positive, this one is in Nigeria. I said, why? He said, we studied them in Harvard. We know your tendencies. We know your pride. See, as a professor, I'm always happy when Nigerians are in my class. I said, why? They will prepare more than you can expect. And they will disgrace you in class. They are never afraid to ask questions. You see, we are studying your country, the youth of your country, specifically in this university. He said, there is no way you can cow down a Nigerian student when it's your student. He will challenge you, he will quarrel with you, he will want to disgrace you. But other black people, they are always afraid of teachers. It's only Nigerian students that are never afraid of teachers. I said, only when you don't use the talent of your youth to develop your country. That's why you leave your country. You have the most brilliant. And it's wanted to tell you, the professor in medical school, the chief medical officer at Harvard University, is Professor Banjo. The chief of this one is Professor this, Nigerian. The chief of this one is Professor this. So we have the talent, we have the brilliance, but how do we maximize the prosperity of our youth? So let us discuss this matter. Let us challenge government. There is not enough space to develop the talent of our youth. We are the best. Look at our women playing football against England. Can you imagine? They stood against them. They were never afraid of them. They didn't even remember there was England. And they were playing as if they were Nigerians too. That is the courage of our youth. How can we get there? What must we do? There is a lot of prosperity for this country. But we must use the population of our youth to develop our nation. There is a long way to go. But by the grace of God, we get there. Congratulations to all the youth in Nigeria. Thank you very much. You are the one developing our country. We want to praise you. We want to appreciate you. Please keep it up. Don't give up. The future belongs to you. Thank you very much.
Can we please put your hands together for Baba? Thank you very much, Baba. Thank you so very much. We can't thank you enough for your love and your support that you have been giving us. Thank you very much. Earlier, I announced the arrival of Mr. President in our midst. But Mr. President was actually busy, directing, drafting policies, developing policies and frameworks that will advance Nigeria. But now, Mr. President is here with us. Clap for Mr. President now. Please join me as I announce the arrival of Mr. President. And Mr. President is here seated with us. Put your hands together for, with a standing ovation. We can't be recognizing Mr. President while we are sitting. Let's honor Mr. President. Shall we all be on our feet? Mr. President, sit down now. Please put your hands together for comrades. His Excellency, permit me to use that, Shegun Dada, the special assistant to Mr. President on social media. Please a round of applause for him. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you all the way from Abuja. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Tell the person sitting beside you that one day you will become a president. But you have to wait for me. After Mr. Shegun, so I'll come. So right on the secretary can come after. All right, please.
My name is Dada Olusegun. I was the pioneer chairman of the All Progressive Youth Forum in 2012. I've been a youth advocate for the better part of the last decade, and I'm currently serving as the special assistant to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on social media.
So how will you describe this award bestowed on you by 10 million Lagos youths?
Well, I am humbled, I am grateful, and I see it as an opportunity for me to do more. I feel it's a point of encouragement, and I'm really grateful to the organizers of the event, as well as those who found me worthy of nomination for this award. And I believe it's just to ensure that I continue to do my best in fighting for young people, in pushing for young people's intervention in government.
So what's your input towards today's theme, Lagos and emerging leaders?
Yeah, so I think they have done a really great job. There's very little I can ask them to add to it, but I think it's important for us to have more government officials present at this event, especially agencies of government, both federal, states, and local, that have a part to play in empowerment of young people. We can't be holding talk shops where those people who have the power to write the policies, to ensure that the policies are in place are nowhere to be found.
So what is the hope of the youth or the hardship the country is facing for now?
Well, to a great extent, I feel that the young people of this country are one of the most creative young people in the world. We have gifts, we have talents, we have brain, and that is why every other part of the world keeps looking for us. They keep looking for young Nigerians to migrate, make their migration easier for young Nigerians because they know our genius. My advice, however, is for young people in this country to trust the government, to trust this president. No matter what we may say about our nation, we still carry the ECOWAS passport, we still carry the green passport, we still bleed green, white, green, and we must continue to ensure that we do not abandon our country in the time of need. Very many people do not know that university education in Nigeria, especially at the federal level, is hugely subsidized. There are people who go to a federal university to study maybe a course like medicine, and they don't spend up to 100,000 from the beginning of their tenure from 100 level to medical school. While we are dealing with all of the strikes and all of that, someone like that in the US will probably spend about $100,000 in debt. So by the time the person is out of school, he's already in debt. And we would have to spend a better part of his life paying back that debt. Now we have a situation where Nigerians who are abroad have gotten hugely subsidized education, and we keep saying that this country has done nothing for us. There's so much that this country can do for us. And like Ramikon once said, we will continue to ask.
My name is Mr. Dipo Deramola. I'm the CEO of Durham's World Information System and Service, and I'm also a professional in politics in Alimosho and Lagos at large.
Oh, and you happen to be a recipient of this award today.
Yeah.
And in commemoration with the International Youth Day, the National Youth Council of Nigeria putting this down. So what do you think, and what is your credit on this?
I would like to give kudos to the international youth for this award and what we have been doing, because this is not the first time we've been doing it. This is not the second time. It has been a consistent, positive feedback we've been giving them, and we would like to appreciate them for what we've been doing, and also for the next one that is coming next year, and every year, we like to appreciate them, and we want to encourage them that they should keep doing the best.
How has your organization been impacting the youth?
Yeah, actually, I'm really focused on grassroots, and I try to encourage youth in playing smart politics now, because this is the 21st century way of playing politics. Because people from the grassroots, there are three types of governance. We have the federal, the state, and the local government. So the local government is the third term that is closer to the grassroots. And for them, that is why we come in, that how can the grassroots feel the dividends of democracy? That's why we are applying a process of smart politics for the people to be able to feel the dividends of democracy in the grassroots. In the grassroots, and also for them to be able to enjoy and for them to be able to participate towards the growth and development of the future. Because youth nowadays, many of them, they don't have the connections, the networking. So we have to encourage them to believe in themselves. We have to encourage them to be able to network. They will come to, they move up. And let me tell you something. Most of our youth from the grassroots level, they don't come up. They stay on the grassroots level. If they are trying to come up to connect, some of the leaders, they try to pull them back. And it's supposed not to be. So that's why in smart politics, allow these young ones to come, let them connect. Okay, for example now, my leader, if I have a leader from the grassroots, and I am coming up, connecting to commissioners, ministers, governors, that is a double connection. If they need me from the top, my leader from the grassroots will be able to support me. But if he or she doesn't allow me to go up, how am I going to get that connect? So that's why we need our leader from the grassroots to empower us, to support us, enable for us to be able to connect from the upper house.
I must commend your initiative because this actually is what the society really needs, especially talking on the platform of society concerns. I must let you know that this is going to be really celebrated by the youth. If peradventure this initiative is able, they are able to get it and they are able to reach out to you. So what is your intention? How do you intend to reach out to this youth, knowing so well that a lot of youth are disappointed, discouraged already, and they are all around the streets?
Yeah, that's why technology is very important. We have to apply technology for grassroots politics. For example, all these social media platforms is one of it. Every local government has a platform, WhatsApp group, Facebook, and whatsoever. And people are there. They are listening. They are not engaging. So that's one of the things you need. Those are one of the platform you need to penetrate the youth. For example now, many people cannot come with me to this place because when they come, they will put an eye on them. But because of, maybe because I have the connection, I have the diaspora connection and everything, no leader can stop me to come up. Because it's a plus, it's a win-win situation for both of us. So, secondly, the youth, we have to encourage them. Social media platform is very important. For example, now what happened here now, they need to see what is happening. They need to be encouraged. For me, I'm from Alimosho. They have to see that one of our son is getting an award. So what are the things he does for them to be given, for him or he or she to be given this award? So they need to be motivated. These are the things that will motivate them. That for Mr. Dipo to get the which we can do better. So we use this platform to encourage them, to motivate them that the future is very bright for them and they should believe in themselves.
Is there any challenge that you feel that the youth need to come out of, especially for societal concern? Last month, we took youth involvement with drugs, arresting the deadly Kankawa to Alimosho local government, and that happened at Afeson Youth Center. And the turn-up really was wow. So is there any way you think you want to support this initiative and how the youth can actually come out of their menace?
Okay, like that program now, many of us were not even aware. I'm from Alimosho now. I was there that day. It was like between 30 minutes before they finished the program, I got there. So it's only, and Alimosho is the largest local government in terms of population, between 6 to 8 million. And I'm from Ayobo Ibaja. No, none of us, nobody participated in that program for my own LCDA. The people that came there are from other local governments. I saw them. They're not even from Alimosho. So so the organization, they have to work on that. They have to give people orientation. They have to carry people along. The youth have to be carried along. How? By informing the local government chairmen, the ward chairman, all those ward chairmen, they are very important. These are grassroots because they disseminate information to the people direct. So they need to be informed. I wasn't informed. So we have about 87 supervisors in Alimosho. We have almost about maybe 40 what are these guys? Councillors. And other parties, we have 36 ward leaders, ward chairmen. None of them are being carried along. That program, nobody is aware of it. I was just there. I was surprised. So we have to carry our people along. You have to look for the right stakeholder to keep them informed that this is taking place here. Let people come. Let me tell you something. If they carry the right process there, we have almost about 10,000 or let's say 1,000. Don't let me over-engineer. We have 1,000 you there. But the people are not informed. When you are informed, you are transformed. But when you are not informed, you are deformed. And when you are deformed, struggle continues.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. My name is Mr. Dipo Deramola from Alimosho. They call me Dipo of Lagos. Thank you very much. Yeah, Alimosho local government. Ayobo Ipaja LCDA.
Honorable, right?
I'm not an honorable, officially, not an honorable. By God's grace.
My name is Enito Jessica Oba. I am so many things. I am the current council leader for Ikorodu West Legislative Arm. And I just got back from Mandela Washington Fellowship, so I'm an alumni of the fellowship, and that'll be all for now.
All right. You are aware that it is International Youth Week for tomorrow, International Youth Day. So, can you tell us what you think about the Nigerian youth?
Well, it's no secret that Nigerians are very smart. Like, they are the smartest people in the world. Then having the youthful energy makes us the smartest youth in the world. And it's, there's a lot of research and a lot of evidences to prove that Nigerians are everywhere in the world doing fantastically well. I just got back from the US and I met a lot of Nigerians in top parastatals heading agencies in the United States of America. It's really impressive. And they've been at it since their youthful age. They discovered themselves when they were young. and they were able to, grow themselves to meet that international standard. It's so impressive, and I was so proud that I am a Nigerian youth.
Okay, that's for the Nigerian youth, the youth that are still at home. Do you think the government are doing enough and are giving them the opportunity to meet up with their colleagues and out there?
Well, the Nigeria of today will just try its best. Considering our population versus our resources, it might be difficult to be able to create a very good platform for all the youth to thrive. But one thing I would say to our youth is, even if we're not given the platform, we should create a platform by ourselves. There's something called servant leadership, that you don't necessarily have to be a special assistant to the president or to the governor to execute leadership, to take charge, to grow yourself. We can create platforms for ourselves, even in our businesses. Aside doing voluntary services, community projects and all that, we can create a platform for ourselves. So what I would say is, with the government still trying to meet up to create a thriving platform for all the youths, let us also endeavor to create a platform for ourselves. There's so many things that can be done.
Sorry, I want to ask, the issue of JAPA, and Nigerians are doing better in Kubasi. Can they get a platform that all these things they are, impact to some other country? Can it come to Nigeria? Because we have the resources, we have the manpower, we have everything, we have even the population. Is there any room for that? What will you advise youth, Because over there, this diaspora, they are trying to come to Nigeria to build our nations. So what is your own take about that?
I was opportune to talk to some Nigerians in diaspora just recently. And what you just said is what I told them. When you go leave the continent or you leave the country, you see how things are being done. You see the formulas that have worked. Bring it back to our country to implement it so that we can create a place that other places want to come into, not a place that we all want to run away from. And it's so unfortunate that we still have a lot of things that we can do, a lot of untapped potentials, a lot of untapped resources, a lot of untapped initiatives that we can still, venture into as youth. Unlike the developed countries, all those things are saturated and they are just recycling initiatives, they're just recycling ideas. These are things that we can still do, a lot of it. So my advice to Nigerians in diaspora or the ones that are still looking forward to diaspora, I don't have anything against learning through a workable formula, a formula that has worked in other places. But my advice is, don't stay too long developing their economy, their country, their infrastructure. Bring that formula home and come and implement it. Let's make Nigeria a better place. So,
like said.
Yes. So that's it for me. The Japa syndrome is really growing. Of course, everybody wants to live.
All right, we are talking about the International Youth Day, and you are here in commemoration with this, and you are actually being awarded. Can you tell us more about your award today?
Okay, well, like I said, I'm so many things. I happen to have joined the political space very early in my life. I started at the university level, aside the fact that I have a lot of politically inclined women in my family. My mother was one of them during her days. I was able to start early, so I have been able to serve. Like, this is my second tenure in the local government, and I'm still hopeful that I would be able to advance my career politically and also to be an inspiration to others coming. But well, for the youth, I would also, like I said earlier, you don't necessarily have to wait to get a platform to show a servant leadership. I'm a fan of servant leadership. And aside the fact that I am currently in office, I am an advocate for young women participating in politics. We know there's a big lacuna that young women get to fall off, they get discouraged, they don't want to contest. I have an NGO called the Africa Inspire Her Network. We want to encourage young women to run. We will equip them with all that they need, all the confidence, the public speaking, good governance attributes for them to run so they can be sellable candidates and they won't be candidates that will be told to step down for another candidate. So for me, I would say, regardless of the platform, let us create a platform to make a positive impact, to display servant leadership.
Thank you so much.
My name is Enito Jessica Oba, Council Leader Ikorodu.
My name is Comrade Alex Akinyalen. the chairman, let us imagine Leaders Youth Summit and Award 2023.
What is the brain behind this concept, sir?
The brain behind this concept is first to celebrate International Youth Day and to appreciate leaders that have been imagined over time in Lagos State. Also, to recognize people in Youth Council that have spent their time to develop capacity of the youth. Some are retired, some are imagined, and so that the people that are coming behind, the young people that are coming behind, be able to emulate or feel or be equipped or be imparted by the past activities of these past leaders and those that are also imagined politically in the industries, in the innovation environment, in the advocacy environment, so that they can also be, possibly impacted.
In the last few years, sir, how would you assess NYSC's involvement in national development?
In the last 3 years, it has been tremendous. Since the emergence of the current chairman, Biliamin Oba, who is the current chairman of the council, I am impressed by his activities and his involvement. He has been able to drive the passion and also assisted by his activity the inclusiveness in the government. Therefore, the space is very accommodating now, and youth are participating in the governance in Lagos State. Recognition is adequately given to them. Support is provided to them. I know with more support, with more inclusiveness, with more participation, involvement of the youth, they can get the traction they wanted in the space, and now become the leader that we desire them to be in Lagos State.
Sir, there has been a little sidelining in selecting cabinets in Lagos State recently. Some certain local governments were sidelined. Hope among our youths there won't be any sidelining in this upcoming democratic.
I have personal opinion. I should be able to express my opinion. And the kind of leadership that I provide is, though inclusive governance, but I should be able to determine who best fits to work with me, irrespective of local government. The problem we are having in this space now is that we want our people to be involved, but at the end of the day, the blame comes back to the head or to the leader that is the head of the government, because we are from this local government or that. Shouldn't be an issue, but rather that what best hand is that person providing to ensure that we have good governance. That's what I'm concerned about. So anybody agitating for my local government or that, I am not saying as a good thing. But my take is that we should be able to ensure that whoever that the leader is providing, be able to deliver to our benefit and for the progress of the community. That is my take on that question. My name is Comrade Alex Akin-Allen, the chairman, Planning Committee, Lagos Imagine Leaders Summit and Award 2023. Thank you.
It is good to have you here after a long day. So how has the day been?
Historic moment in Lagos. I'm sure this is one of the biggest International Youth Day celebration that we're having here in Lagos, and is hosted in commemoration of International Youth Day by the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter. And as you can see, the themes for this International Youth Day is green skills for youth towards a sustainable world. And what this means is that there are some skills that young people need to find a way to incur if truly they are serious about the future. And the Youth Council slogan says, build the youth, build the nation, meaning that if any country is serious about economic growth, if any country is serious about development, then they must pay attention to the growth and wellness of their youth. So, and this themes for this year is actually reminding us that as a country, we must prioritize the wellness of young people. And the government as well must create an enabling environment for young people's idea and thought to thrive. So this year's International Youth Day is very special. It's very important, especially in a country where we have a first subsidy removal effect. So which means that for us to regain back our country, the youth must be ready to provide solutions. We can't say that it's only our leaders that should have the responsibility of providing solutions. We too, as young people, we must start thinking about solutions too. And that is what this International Youth Day celebration is all about.
Yeah, looking at the situation around the country, like you have said, and do you really think the Nigerian youth really want to celebrate this year?
The truth is this, whether you like it or not, whether the country is smiling or not, and there's always, there's this saying that all the work cannot play me Jack a dull boy. You can't be angry all the time. You can't be frowning all the time. Sometimes you need to reflect back and think about a way forward. The moment you allow your situation override your thoughts, then you may not be able to get it right anymore. So what we are doing here today is to think about solutions and provide solutions. As you can see, when you are bothered, when something is hitting you hard, and you actually lose guard, and thinking that you have failed. No, giving up on failure shouldn't be an option. As young people, we must be strong, we must be firm. That steadfastness, that indefatigable spirit must come to play, especially in trying times like this. This is the time for us to actually know the real youth who are serious about the greatness of our country. So we can't give up.
Can you tell us about the emergence of the leaders on the award that you gave out?
Yeah, today we have Lagos Emerging Leaders Summit and Awards. And from the name alone, you can tell what we are trying to achieve. Every generation has their leaders. Every generation has people who will champion the cause of their generation. Today, Lagos State is identifying those young people who have, over the years, dedicated their life to excellence. They have dedicated their life to contributing to their little quota to the greatness of our state. And you see, part of the issues we have in our society today is because of lack of positive mentorship. When you are not inspired, you discover that you may not be able to add value because no one is actually celebrating your effort, and no one is actually inspiring you to do more. So what I'm trying to say here is that there are a lot of young people that attended this program today, and they saw the way their fellow youth are being celebrated. It will energize them to want to shoot for the stars and push for greatness in life. So the point I'm trying to make is that what we've done here today is just to show other aspiring young leaders that as a youth, you can be the best of your kind. And one day, someday, the state, your contemporaries will they will single you out among multitude of people and celebrate you. So that's the inspiration. Instead of youth tapping inspiration from those drug addicts or abusing drugs, let's see how we can celebrate ourselves as youth.
Thank you so much.